outside.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
That's because you were born for health insurance. Should her husband's business no longer cover?
Okay.
What's wrong there?
You asking me or?
Yeah, I'm asking. What's wrong with that? What's that ask?
I'm not sure. What?
What's wrong is she should have compensation for health insurance in her package already.
Oh,
And
so the implication.
her compensation should not be tied to any manner, shape, or form with her husband.
Yeah.
Pure and simple. Line item in the compensation package says health insurance. Whether she chooses to use it to pay for health insurance or not, one of the is no one's business but her own. Right? Cutting through all the bullshit of sex. That's right. Now you're the answer. Here's the difference. Inside, we don't have a lot of air blowing around. I mean, it's a absurd. When you're outside, even little ways to blow things out. Don't it's not perfect. It doesn't mean you can't. But if you were standing next to someone in some skills and someone else was standing outside, which one do you think would be better shared? Much better. So, you know. You guys ready?
It's the beautiful. I did not talk to him.
That's the only thing I would say is shot is a much better shot ever getting sex. Whereas the COVID shot just stops you from getting COVID. We learned unfortunately. Exactly. We learned a long time ago the COVID shot does not stop people from getting COVID. But it does if they get it, they're never going to really get sick. That's a big issue.
Actually, my learning's a little different.
What is
Just that if you do get the COVID shot, the chances of you getting it if you're exposed is much reduced. And then if you do get it, you're
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt that it slows things down, but I think we were all greatly disappointed in 2021 when we had this great vision that it was going to actually protect you like tetanus shots. Yes, ma'am. Where? I'm sorry. You may sit anywhere that you like, so that you can, so long as you can get up. When I call the choir, I want you guys to come right up to the front. Okay?
How's Janet?
Okay. Good. Responding well.
Is she still in the hospital?
Oh, yeah, she'll be there. Foot got infected again. No one knows why or how, but it did again. She's responding well to the antibiotics.
Why isn't she at West Hills?
Because it's coming up next. Finally agreed to the surgery. She was told she needed 7 years ago. Remove pretty much most of the foot's mouth. That'll either happen tomorrow afternoon or Monday. And the surgeon who's doing that does not have to still.
Hopefully it will be a new release.
Right, look, she's listening to the question of the quality. Is this the issue? Right. We created one set of issues for another. That's always the case.
You want me to welcome everybody, or do you want to welcome everybody? Welcome everybody. What? Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our Shabbat evening services, where a lot is happening. We have some of our 7th grade graduates who are here this evening to join us and lead us in part of our services. We have some of our JLC choir who are with us this evening. One of the things that we have discovered in life, as you all know, is that everybody is always overprogrammed. And it is incredibly complicated nowadays to get everyone into one place at one time because we're always just so busy. And having just spent a good amount of time in Europe, there is much that we can learn because people there work for a short period of time and play a lot. And they sit at cafes all day long. And there's something to that. A little less busy would be a good thing. A little less busy. But this is our life. And it also happens to be an early Simchat Shabbat, which we usually do at the end of the month, celebrating birthdays and anniversaries for the month of May. So at the end of services, if you have a birthday or an anniversary, we'll invite you to come up for a blessing. And we're doing it tonight because next week we are at Temple Aliyah for their 3rd Shabbat. And then the following Shabbat, which we would normally be doing it's Shavuot. And hopefully we'll be together for Shavuot. So, cheesecake, exactly. So, I don't know how many of you have had the opportunities to meet 2 of our incredible professionals, Avram Elner, who is our rabbinic intern this year and next, and Rabbi Adam Schaefer, who runs our educational programming for all of our youth. So together, they're going to be leading services with our kids this evening. And so sit back, enjoy, take out your siddur if you want to follow along. And I'm going to turn the service over to Avram. And of course, as always, steady and regular Chazan Smith is with us to help out as well.
Thank you, Rabbi Cambers. We are going to begin with Lechuna Ranana on page 11. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai Naria Letzor Yishenu Nikad Mapanav Betoda Bizmirot Naria Lo. Arba'im Shana Akut Bedor Va'omar Am To'e Levavhem V'hem Lo Yadu Derachai Asher Nishbati Be'api Im Yavahun El Menuchati.
Before we jump to the next psalm, I want you to note the melody of the psalm that Avram just chanted. That is the traditional Lechuna Ranana melody. It's the melody of Kabbalat Shabbat. And what did you notice in that melody? Here's what I noticed. What I noticed is it was slow and calming, because the idea of coming this evening is to slow down, is to bring us steadily and slowly into a new space for Shabbat. And that's what the music and the melody of Kabbalat Shabbat is supposed to do. So we turn to page 13, Shiru Ladonai.
And for Shiru Ladonai, I'm going to invite up most of our 7th grade class to help lead. Come on down. You're doing great. You're going to do great. Okay, ready? Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom Yeshuato, Safru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Niflotav. Ki Gadol Adonai, Umulal Meod, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim, Hai, Ki Kol Elohei, Ha'amim Elilim, Adonai Shamayim Asa. Od vehadar lefanav, Oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, Havul Adonai, Od amim, Havul Adonai, Kavod v'oz, Havul Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Chatzrotav, ay, Yishtachavu Ladonai, Behadra Kodesh, Hilu Mipanav, Kol Haaretz, Imru Vagoyim, Adonai Malach, Avtikon Tevel, Baal Timot, Yadin Amim B'mei Sharim, Ismechu Hashamayim V'tagel Haaretz, Yiram Hayam Umelo, Yalo Sadai Bechol Asher Bo, ay, Az Yiranenu Kolat Seyar Bifnei Adonai Kiva Lishbot Haaretz Lishbot Tevel Betzedek Ve'amim Be'emunato Nay. Just have little eyes. Throughout our service tonight, we're going to have the opportunity to hear from our 7th grade what they've learned this year and what they are hoping to do in the years to come with their Jewish journeys. So now I would like to invite up Taylor to share a little bit about her experience this year.
Something I learned this year in class that I found interesting and fun is when we split into teams, put on a silent play based off of what we learned in the silent Amidah, and the other team had to guess which section we were acting out. I will continue my Jewish journey after Kita Zayin by continuing to read Torah on Saturday mornings. I will also continue to go to Camp Ramah and attend Hebrew High School next year.
God. We continue with our service on the top of page 15. Adonai Malach Tagel Haaretz Yismichu Iyim Rabim Anan Verafel Sevivav Tzedek Umishpat Mechon Kiso. Ohave Adonai Sinura Shomer Nafshot Chasidav Miad Rashayim Yatzilem Or Zaru Ala Tzadik O Yishrei Lev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Badonai Vehodu Lazecher Kodsho. Turn to page 17. Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflot Asa Hoshia Lo Yemino Uzro Azro Akacho Di Adonai Yeshuato Eine Agoim Gilat Zikato Zachar Chasto Ve'emunato Leveit Yisrael Ra'u Chol Afsei Aretz Et Yeshuot Eloheinu Hariu Ladonai Kol Haaretz Pitzchu Veranenu Izameru Zamru Ladonai Bechinor Bechinor Bekol Zimra Bechatzotzrot Bekol Shofar Hariu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiram Hayam Umlo Tevel ve'yoshveva neharot imchahu hauchaf yachad harim yeranenu lifnei Adonai kiva lishbot haaretz yishbot tevel b'tzedek Ve'yamim b'meisharim Nai rai 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 Yai rai 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 Yai rai 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 Yai nai 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 rai 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 nai Yai nai 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 nai. Now I'd like to invite up our wonderful JLC choir for Yismechu Hashamayim on page 14. Going backwards in time a little bit on page 14. We'll hear more from our wonderful choir throughout tonight's service. We continue on the top of page 19. Adonai malach yizgu amim. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. As we turn to page 21 and rise, I would like to invite up our 7th grade class. Mizmor leDavid, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai, Kavod va'oz, Avul Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Avul Adonai b'Hadra Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El HaKavod Irim, Adonai, Al Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shober Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai, Et Arzei Halvanon, Vayar Kidem Kemo Egel, Levanon, Vesirion, Kemo Ben Re'emim, ay, Kol Adonai, Kotzev Lavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Mibar, Yachil Adonai, Mibar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Cholel Ayalot, Vayechesov, Be'arot, Uvechalot, Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lama Bul Yashav, Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. Yai, 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 You may be seated, and we will now hear some words from Nicole about her time in Kita Zayin this year.
The most meaningful thing I have learned this year was learning about the Holocaust. I knew that many of my great-great-grandparents died in the Holocaust, and many other family members perished in concentration camps. Knowing this made me want to learn more about what exactly had happened. I will continue my Jewish journey by celebrating Shabbat every week with my family, praying at night, and taking part in services.
Awesome. As we get to the centerpiece of Kabbalat Shabbat, I would like to invite up the JLC choir to lead us for Lechado D on page 23.
Shem Tiferet Beliti La 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 Lecha Lecha Dodi. La 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 lecha dodi likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela dodi likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela hitori kiva oreth uri ori uri ori shir daveri Dodi likrat likrat kala penei shabbat nekabela dodi likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela. Page 25. Toch emunei am segula halaboi chadodi likrat likrat kala penei penei nekabela likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela Dodi likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela Dodi likrat likrat kala penei penei shabbat nekabela penei shabbat nekabela. Woo! Yasha Koach.
Yasher Koach to the choir. You may be seated, and we continue on page. Page 27. Mizmor shir leyom hashabat, tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, be'emunatcha balelot, alei asor ve'alei navel, lehigayon bechinor, mizmor shir leyom hashabat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Middle of page 28. Tzadik katamar yifrach, Ke'erez balvanon isker shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvon beseva deshenin verananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri below havlatavo. We turn to page 29 for Adonai Malach. I'd like to invite up our 7th grade class. Adonai Malach, Gehud Lavesh, Lavesh Adonai, Oz Hitazar, Avtikon Tevel, Baal Timos, Nachon Isach Meyas Me'olam Atay Nasu Nerot Adonai Nasu Nerot Kulam Yisu Ne'arot Doch Yam Rai Mikolot Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishverei Yam Adir Bamarom Adonai Eidotecha Nemnu Meyot Leveitcha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim Rai 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 I'd like to invite Aaron to stay up here and share a little bit about this year with us.
This year in class, I learned a multitude of things. However, one thing I found particularly interesting was the different cultures of Jewish people and how Jews in different countries have completely different customs. For example, I never knew that Ashkenazi Jews and Sephardic Jews have different recipes for food during Passover. I will continue my Jewish journey after Kita Zayin by participating in services and helping make the world a better place by, for instance, donating to charities.
As we turn to page 30 for Kaddish Yatom, if you are observing a yard site or in mourning, I would like to invite you to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shomrei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'yimeru. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimeru. Yehi Shlom Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen.
We rise as we begin our Mariv service with the Baruch Hu on page 39a.
La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Turn it this fix the R. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated as we continue the page 39. Baruch atah Adonai. Chai v'kayam tamid imach. Baruch atah Adonai.
Umaver yom uvein laila, umavtin ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevaot shamo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam vaed, Baruch ata Adonai, hama'ari v'ravim.
We'll now hear some words from Andy about this year.
I love coming to class every Tuesday to learn about new things, such as the hilarious introduction questions to learning and making plays for one of 17 sections of the Amidah. I will be in Hebrew High School, go to Camp Ramah, become a counselor, and go to services at Shomrei Torah.
Please join me as we sing Ahavat Olam on page 40. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shochveinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem nege yomam v'layla v'avatecha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Our seventh graders lead us in Shman Ve'ahavta, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochvecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'chatam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha.
We continue silently on 42. Vayam Shemot Shemot.
Laman tizkeru ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 43. We invite our JLC choir to come forward, who are going to help lead us in Micha Mocha on page 44.
Elim Adonai, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, לא כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 45. Hashkiveinu.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לכלם שלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
We rise and invite our 7th graders to join us and lead us in Vishamru on page 46.
Please join me. Veshameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת
Nefesh. Chatzi Kaddish, page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמרה
Amen.
יעלמה דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי
Yechon v'yom echon
וחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה
ובזמן
קריב וימרו
Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Lam Maya Yitbarach
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה
Brechu
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran
בעלמה וימרו
Amen. A few minutes of silent prayer, the Hebrew, the English, or your own thoughts, beginning on page 47.
Say shalom b'rumav.
Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al Yisrael.
You may be seated. Molly is going to now share with us some of her reflections on Kita Zion and JLC.
This year, one memorable thing that I learned was about the patriarchs and matriarchs in Jewish history, which added to my Jewish knowledge. I will continue my Jewish journey after Kita Zayin by attending Shabbat services as well as going to Camp Ramah every summer.
So before we conclude our service, we are going to do a short presentation of a gift to the class, a little charge, and a blessing. We're going to invite the director of our JLC and an all-around mensch of a human being, Rabbi Schaefer, to share some words with our 7th graders.
Would you guys join me up here? Actually, would you five stand at that beam and I'll stand at this one? That'll make life easy. I have to tell you what a treat it is to be able to have the 5 of you, and actually total the 6 and 7 of you, because I know not all of your classmates are here, to be part of this culmination ceremony. It is a real honor and a privilege to have gotten to know you over the past 2 years since our schools joined together. Because in so many ways, your class represents the best not only of what the synagogue has to offer, but it also is about the best of what the future has to offer. And that makes us incredibly proud and incredibly happy. I'm always looking to the calendar to see what it is that makes when we do a given occasion something significant or something special, and particular to what's the parsha of the week. And I think it's perfectly fitting that on a night where you guys are honoring the culmination of this stage of your Jewish journey and acknowledging of what the next stages are going to be, that it's also the Shabbat where we close out a book of the Torah. As you guys probably know, this week is going to be the week where we read the final 2 parshiot of the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, Behar and Bechukotai. And there, it's actually a really crazy portion to finish because this particular portion has some really wild and zany stuff in it. Not the least of which is a section known in Hebrew as the Tochecha, which literally means the rebuke or the potential punishments that could come when people don't do what they're supposed to do. There are 2 Tochechot in the Torah. One that occurs this week, always 2 Shabbatot before Shavuot, and one that occurs in the fall, always 2 Shabbatot before Rosh Hashanah. And each of them follow the same setup. God basically says to the Jewish people, if you do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to give you these blessings. And the list of blessings is like this long in the book. And it says, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to throw at you all these curses. And the list of curses is like this long. And it's some of the most poetic and freaky, scary stuff. I understand if you've ever read Yiddish curses, I know where Yiddish curses got it. They got it from this portion for sure. Like there's an old Yiddish curse to give you an idea that says, may every one of your teeth fall out except for one so that you can still have a toothache. You know, it's kind of lifted right out of this story. They talk about, how these things are going to be awful. You're going to be the tail and never the head. Trust me, if you ever look at it, it's miserable. But what I love about this week for you guys is that we are all asked, how do you know if you are following the dictates of God so that we get the blessings instead of getting the curses that we could be getting if we don't listen to what was supposed to be prescribed? Well, I think the easiest answer is you have to look to the people who model the right kind of behavior. And when it comes to our school, you guys have spent the year as we say, the top dogs. You are the ones that everyone looks to on Tuesday afternoons. You are the ones that everyone is looking at to say, how are we supposed to do it? And what I love is I think you've realized that you've been role models all year long. And as a result, you have shown in your behavior, you have shown in your presentation, you have shown in every one of your B'nai Mitzvah, which I've had the privilege to attend. You guys have been outstanding role models for our community. And what I love as I listen to what you're talking about tonight is that you are all planning on continuing to be role models in your community. When I listen to what you're going to be, the fact that you're going to be reading Torah being here as part of the service community, doing what you can to make the world a better place. That's what culmination is all about. It means that I'm going to take everything I've gotten from this stage and I'm going to make it even better. So tonight, we have for each one of you a little memory of your year together. We wanted to make sure that each of you gets your own personalized copy of the Eitz Chaim. It's already pre-shrink wrapped and ready for you to crack open and delve into your study, and we are going to be adding to it its own personalized plate. So I'd like to call you in alphabetical order, nothing more than that, to make sure that everything is well good to be presented to you. Andrew Gelb. Molly Gelb. Taylor Gelb. Nicole Russo. And Aaron Tavishpour. Mazel Tov to the Kita Zayin class of 2023. Thank you for being the outstanding human beings that you are.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi Schaefer. So, as I was listening to you, I was thinking about the philosophy of Judaism. As Rabbi Schaefer was speaking, I remembered this wonderful quote by Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan, who actually was a professor at the Jewish Theological Seminary, the founder of Reconstructionist Judaism. And when asked the question, is Judaism an optimistic religion or a pessimistic religion, he answered in a different way. But before I'll give you his answer, what do you guys think? Is Judaism an optimistic or pessimistic religion? Optimistic? And what do you all think? Optimistic or pessimistic? Yes. Yes. Well, that's what he said. He was very smart. He said it's a if-istic religion. An if-istic. And he came up with the if-istic as Rabbi Schaefer just taught us. Because how does Bechukotai begin? Im Bechukotai. If you listen. And trick question, but not a trick question. What is at the very center of your life? Good answer. Andy said Judaism. I love that answer. No, what's at the very center of your life? That's a good answer. Family, themselves, Judaism. But what's the real answer? What's at the center of life? Heart is a good answer. At the center of life. L-I-F-E. If. If is at the center of life. If is about the choice. Who we are going to be. What we're going to do. How we're going to do it. Im Bechukotai. If. So Rabbi Schaefer, what a beautiful drosh you gave to the students. Reminding them that their life is up to them. And what you do with your life is up to you. If you choose properly, it's going to be great. If you don't, you'll pick yourself up and start over again. And so far, as Rabbi Schaefer said, you have chosen wisely, each of you. So please stand up. We are going to offer the priestly blessings to each of you. Just as at your bar and bat mitzvah, so too now, and hopefully your parents on Friday evenings that bless you as well. And why don't we all stand up? Because after the blessing, we'll sing Shehechianu together. For the young ladies in the class, Yisimech Elohim Kisara Rifka Rachav. For the young men in the class, Simcha Elohim Ephraim Ukmenashe Yivarecha Adonai Yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai Panav Elecha Yichunecha Yisad Adonai Panav Elecha Yasem Lecha Shalom. May God bless each and every one of you with the power of positivity and the ability to choose wisely always in your life. And may you make your parents and your grandparents, your friends, your family, and yourselves, and your rabbis proud throughout your life together as we say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Seated. Mazel tov. Kaddish Shalem is found on page 54.
I'm joining. Yet get out, get ash,
Amen.
Alma divra kirute, v'yamlich machute, v'chayechonu v'yamechonu, chayedechol beit Yisrael, Agalav izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rama mevorach, le'olam olam me'alamaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yiteleh v'yitelahal shmei dekutsha
Brichu.
la'ela minko v'chata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Titkabal tzolot tahon uvat tahon decha Yisrael, kadam v'hon divishmaya v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim, alein v'kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, uyaseh shalom. Alein v'kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen. We rise for Kiddush on page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakofet.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'b'ratzon ninchilanu, zikaron la'maseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu b'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, in chalzanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Amen. Before Aleinu, this is where we usually count the Omer. It's a little light outside. Yesterday was the 36th day, so for educational purposes, we'll say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al svirat ha'omer, which means praised are you, God, who gave us the mitzvah of counting each day from Pesach until Shavuot to count the Omer, and therefore today we say Shiv'ah u'shloshim yom, which is 37 days, Chamesh Shavuot, 5 weeks, Shnei Yamim LaOmer. So when it gets dark, again, if you would like, you can say it when it gets dark. Our 7th graders will lead us in Aleinu on page 56. Shabeach ladon hakol, latekedu la'liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'atzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samanu lahem, ve'or aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu orim, u'nishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Kadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hu yeh Adonai echad Shemo echad. You may be seated. Before we conclude with Mourner's Kaddish, as I said in the beginning of services, once a month, usually the last Friday of the month, is Simchat Shabbat. So, is there anybody here who is celebrating a birthday or an anniversary in the month of May? If you are, stand up and tell us what you're celebrating, all the way in the back. Mort, what are you celebrating?
92 years.
Wow. 92 years young. May we all have your spirit and energy. Anniversary. What number anniversary? What? 12 years. Well, and tell me your names. Roni and Fred. Mazal tov to 12 years. Babies. 12 years. Many, many more to come. And Al is coming around with some chocolate treats. Who else is celebrating a birthday anniversary? Michael.
I'm celebrating 46 years in a State.
Well, may you continue to celebrate many more birthdays like that into the future. Yes, sir.
All right, I'll put this one out there. It's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday to her. How old? Rabbi Schaefer.
24 years of marriage on the 30th.
24 years. Well, almost a quarter of a century. Anybody else? No other birthdays? Well, we have a song that we sing for all of our birthdays, anniversaries that Chazan Smith will lead us in. See if you can pick up the melody as he goes along.
Mitzvah gedola liot besimchat tamid, besimchat tamid. Mitzvah gedola liot besimchat tamid, besimchat tamid. It's a beautiful thing to gather and sing, a mitzvah to be happy always. The joy that we bring as our voices ring will fill our hearts and fill our days. Mitzvah gedola liot besimchat tamid, besimchat tamid. Mitzvah gedola liot besimchat tamid, besimchat tamid.
Besimchat tamid. Too often we forget to come together to celebrate those moments of joy and happiness. And may we come together many times to continue to celebrate moments of joy and happiness and celebration. To each of you celebrating on Mea V'Esrim in good health and happiness and joy. And now we remember those who are no longer with us, but whose memories of them continue to guide and shape us in our days, weeks, and months ahead. So if you are observing a Yortzeit or St. Kaddish, I invite you to rise if you would like to share who you are observing a Yortzeit or St. Kaddish for. Please feel free to do it. I'm St. Kaddish for my father, Michael, who died this past July. May his memory be a blessing. Wow. May her memory continue to be a blessing. May his memory be a blessing. So to all of those, we turn to page 58 for Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash merabah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirute v'amlich malchute. B'chayachonu v'yomechonu v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehesh me rabba mevorach le'olam me'alma. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei de kudisha, b'rechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, tamiran ve'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. As God brings peace to the heavens, may God bring peace to each one of us and to this much needed world in pain as we say Amen.
Amen.
Well, we're going to conclude our services now. I just want to acknowledge once again Avram Elner, our incredible 7th grade teacher, and our fantastic 7th grade culminating class. May they continue to do great things. To our wonderfully, beautifully sounding JLC choir. Hopefully many times into the future we will be able to benefit from your beautiful voices. To Rabbi Schaefer for leading our JLC. To all of you for coming and supporting our two communities that very soon will be a single community together starting in July. There is a dinner for those who signed up right afterwards in Raffle Hall. And we will conclude with Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. Yair dai dai dai, yair dai dai dai, yair dai 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 dai, yair dai 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 dai, yair dai dai dai, yair dai dai dai, yair dai 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 dai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.